how to top in the exams. This is a very serious and interesting topic because more or less we all want to be the best. But we all know this is not something easy. One has to be very smart and hardworking to be able to be a top. However, I believe that the raw intelligence and the ability to work hard is not enough. There are actually more factors that make a normal student outstanding, and that's the topic of the video. So if you have kids, basically if you are a parent, then I would highly request you to watch the video till the end, because by the end of the video I am more than sure you will develop a new perspective of the world, you will understand your kids better, and you will eventually be able to help them build a better future. So first of all, let me tell you briefly about myself. I'm not a top tier student. Just like you, I'm just good enough to be noticed but never enough to be praised. And in this video, I have shared my personal experience and thoughts, so you may not agree with them, and that's why the comment section is open. Feel free to let me know your opinions, thoughts, and where I went wrong. So first of all, in order to be a good student, you need a stable, resourceful, and supportive family. Well, what do I mean by that? Let me give you an example so you understand better. You might have noticed that all the toppers, strong students, have something in common, and that is their background. They all happen to come from a very respected, strict, and very supportive family. Their parents are highly educated, whereas an average student comes from a middle class family where his parents are not so hi-fi. Does it look weird to you? Because what does a kid's background have to do with his studies? Well, you're right, there is actually something wrong. Let me give you an example so you understand how and why. Suppose you and your friend are going for a walk. Your friend's height is 6'4" and you are 5'4". From a same starting point, you both take 10 steps forward. Who do you think will go further? Obviously your friend, because he is taller and his legs are also taller. Naturally, he covers more distance and goes further. Even though you both put the same amount of effort, same amount of energy, still for very unfair advantages, he goes further. That same way, a student from a better family, better support, has much more resources than any kid. For example, they can afford more books, tuitions, and most importantly, they have parental support, which most of us very lack. Having this kind of background and parental support is so effective. Whereas for us, average students, education, studies is like a punishment. We are scared of it. And secondly, study environment. What do I mean by study environment? Let me give you an example. Most of us live in a single room. We eat, sleep, study. We basically do everything in that same place. If we all died today, that would be the only place empty. Now suppose, what if that room of yours was just behind the kitchen? The kitchen where our moms spend their most of the times. They take calls, they cook, they drop things, and it gets even more annoying when they are pissed off and talk to themselves. It's really annoying. Now in this kind of situation, for any kid to study is distracting and impossible. Or maybe suppose every evening when you are supposed to study, you see your father watching news on Facebook, you see your sister scrolling on Instagram, and your brother is playing game. Now tell me, how are you supposed to, in such an environment where everybody is distracted and you are supposed to swim against the waves? It's just not possible. You just think that let's pick up the phone and start scrolling. What's the worst thing that can happen? Or maybe you have financial struggles. Every morning you wake up, you see your parents arguing over how they are going to pay the bills, how the inflation is so high. And you see yourself and think, I have not done anything. I'm not helping them at all. They're stressed and depressed. They are getting old, but I'm still at the same place. You feel like a burden to them. You are stressed and depressed, and over time, one day without ever realizing, you just become average like us. Now you can argue that don't make excuses. Work hard. Your future is in your hands. Take everything you want from the world. You're right. The unshakable, unbreakable human spirit is real. People have shattered mountains with bare hands and hammer, climbed peaks without legs, but you have to understand that those are extremely rare and exceptional cases. Most of the hammers are used by carpenters, and most of the unables are begging on the roads. Exceptions are not examples. But we are humans, we are optimistic, we are hopeful. Even if the world was falling apart, we would still believe that someone is coming for the rescue. But sometimes we are too deluded, and when we wake up to our reality, we realize how pathetic it is and blame ourselves for that. But that's not what we should be doing. We should be working as hard as possible and hope for the best. So please don't think that you are a bad student or lazy or dumb. You are not. You just don't have the circumstances required to actually work on your full potential. If you had those, you would be as good as they are. And as a parent, you should try your best to provide your kids with those circumstances, with resources, stability, and support. Even if you can't, then at the very least, don't torture. I know there could be more points, more arguments, more thoughts, but I'll leave that empty for you because I want to know what are the problems you are facing and how you deal with them. That could be beneficial for all of us. So please feel free to use the comment section, and yes, do a like and subscribe as a new content creator. It is very useful. Thank you for watching.